Some of you guys have been asking what I'm mixing in my tank right now. It's September, and my mix right now is called the Kelp Nutrition. So that's what the name is of this sixth application of my program. So what I do is, I'll tell you exactly what I do. Here, let me show you. So as you know, I use the Greene County Fertilizer Company fertilizers. And this one that I'm putting in this mix, again, it's September, my sixth application of the program, is the Green Effect. So it's got 7% urea nitrogen. That's where the 7 comes in, 700. And then the sulfur and iron is 6%. So there's a lot of iron in this. And that's what's going into my, again, sixth application, sixth step of my fertilizer program. And then I also like I said, I call it the Kelp Nutrition application because I actually use cold water kelp. So I put in this highly concentrated cold water kelp fertilizer. So cold water sea kelp, 50%, potassium, 5%. This strengthens your roots. So this cold water kelp is like, kind of think of it, the way I always think about it, it's kind of funny. I hope you guys don't make fun of me, but it's like Mario, you know, like Mario and Luigi, they running around doing good. They eat that magic mushroom and it's like they double up, bloom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Well, this is the magic liquid for your roots. Once they're healthy, moving around and doing really good, boom, you give them some of this and it just turns them into superheroes. They become stronger. They can actually reduce pests from coming in. So like right now my roots are doing really well. So when they get this kick this late in the season, it makes them stronger. So it's kind of like the last push, but it's also giving them all this nutrients so that now they're going to be stronger. And next year, they're going to actually be able to fight off weeds and insects a lot stronger. They're going to be dense. The root system is going to be super dense. So anyway, that's why we call it the Kelp Nutrition on this application. And it's not cheap. That cold water kelp is not cheap. So here, let me start mixing in everything I was telling you. Now remember, I get my fertilizer delivered. The delivery truck will come and pump all this fertilizer into my totes. So just remember, keep that in mind when I'm telling you about my mix rate. So again, for the Green Effect, we're doing the half rate. So that's 2.5 gallons. Now, because it's late in the season, I'm trying to wean off the fertilizer from my lawns. I'm giving them great stuff, but now I'm cutting this rate. So in the heat of the summer, like right in the summer, June, July, I give them the full rate of this, the 5 gallons of this mix. Remember, Green Effect with the 6% iron. Now that I'm weaning it off of it, now remember, now that I'm cutting back the fertilizer on my lawns, I'm giving them the Kelp Nutrition, which is basically, you're gonna see the small amount I put in this batch of 100 gallons. So there's 100 gallons of water in there. You only need right now about 2.5 gallons of this Green Effect. And then I'm only gonna put 25 ounces of the Kelp Nutrition. 25 ounces is all this 100-gallon needs. So keep that in mind. And then I also put in some herbicide, but this is the fertilizer part about things. So again, right now I'm putting in a half rate of green effect. I like to have it running when I'm mixing in my batches. So fertilizer will cycle through this hose and go back in and keep doing that. So I'm getting a good rate when I go to my first house. It'll be perfectly mixed and I won't have water coming out at the beginning in there. Plus it agitates it better because you're getting the top part mixing along with the bottom where the pump is agitating down there. So I'm going to turn it on right now. Now, as I was pouring that in, at the very end, you saw those little elements, that little debris in there. That's one of the issues I have with this fertilizer, is that it's really organic. So some of those humic acids or everything that's mixed in there, if you don't use up your tote like right away, you kind of get those little elements at the bottom, and I'm running low on the bottom. And so as you can see, those little things can hurt your pump. So you got to make sure to clean your filter daily. And I've talked with other applicators that actually use a different fertilizer company, you know, that use like solubles where they mix kind of like the granular kind of stuff inside their tank and kind of mix things that way. Well, that can do the same amount of damage, if not worse. So they also have to clean their filter out every single day. You know, if you clean that, I bet you if I go to my filter right now, if I could still see through it, you'll see some elements getting caught in the filter, and that's fine as long as you clean it every day. Don't let it get so caked that it starts pushing in through the filter. That's when you can have problems. That's one of the things that I told you about, that there's a learning curve with this product. It has a lot of organic, you know, elements and organic debris in there, and if you don't take care of your pump, that could cause problems. So I have to clean that filter out every single day. Now, I've talked to another good friend of mine that doesn't use this product. He mixes things with soluble fertilizers, kind of like granular fertilizers. And he too has to clean his filter out every day. So that's going to happen with any fertilizer you use. Now, when I first started using Green County Fertilizer, it was the first year I've ever gone liquid the whole entire year. So I was stupid and I thought that I didn't have to clean my filters until it was too late. And then I started having problems with my pump, and that's on me. That's my bad. You should always clean your filters no matter what kind of fertilizer, no matter how clean, no matter what the salespeople tell you. Clean your damn filters every single day. That way you're not going to have problems, and it's going to cost you money. Like I had to pay $700. No, it was almost $800 to buy a new pump because I had just destroyed it. I didn't clean it all year. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind, because I just showed you the fertilizer that I'm using. Now, Green County Fertilizer has many different fertilizers, okay? So you got to kind of, when you talk to somebody, or maybe you ask me, I'll figure it out for you, but every region is pretty much different, right? And this is the fertilizer that I need to make my lawns look the way I want them to look. So that green effect that I was showing you, that's my base fertilizer, but there's other fertilizers, man. There's green punch. There's different fertilizers. You can also use RGS by itself. There's RGS with N-Charge. You know, you can just use N-Charge by itself. there's aerate, there's dethatch, there's all kinds of fertilizers. So I'm just showing you the one I'm using right now because of my region, and I'm getting the outcome that I'm looking for. And that's why I'm using the green effect, because of my region. So you're gonna have to kind of figure out your region. Maybe when you're talking to your fertilizer rep for whatever company you're using, you let them know where you're from, and most of the time they kind of have a good idea of what you're gonna need or recommendations, and then you're gonna have to do some testing, and then from those tests you figure out what works best for you, and then you go with that. For me here, I've got it down. I know that I'm using the green effect as my base for summer and this 1 month in the fall, September. October, I'm gonna use a different fertilizer, but that's for another day. So let me go into mixing the kelp nutrition. So the mix rate on the Seek is 1 ounce per 1,000 square feet sprayed. So if we have a 100-gallon tank, I should be putting 50 ounces, okay? Because my 100-gallon tank does about 50,000 square feet. So on this measuring cup, it says 48. I would probably just put up to 48. But since we're doing the half rate, we only need to do the half rate. In fact, I can go the full rate if I really want to, actually I'm gonna go the full rate because it's kind of cool. You want the temperatures to be kind of cool. So I'm gonna go the full rate, which is 1 ounce per 1,000 foot sprayed. And I've got a 100-gallon tank, so I'm gonna do the 48 ounces. And not only that, one of the other reasons why I'm making this decision is because when I place my order, I place too many. So I want to use up all my product too. And I don't want to have any sitting left over when I've got some good stuff. And it's just going to help my lawns better. So, and I've gone half rate with my green effect. Remember, if I went the full rate on my green effect, I would definitely only do the half rate. But right now I'm going to do the full rate of 1 ounce per 1,000 square foot sprayed.